All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Lang Trading Chat Room. It is April 10th, 2023. We got another stellar day of trading on our hands. As always, it's going to go something like this. I'm going to start off. I'm going to look at the market bias, look at the SPY and the QQQ, determine which way we think the markets are going to head today. After that, I'm going to look at the favorites list on the right-hand side of the screen right here. We got long ideas in green, got the short ideas in red. After I review this list, it will be time to start trading. So that's what we'll do. Get going on that, looking for some 5-minute patterns, all that good stuff. As always, guys, make sure you are practicing proper money management. This is a very challenging business. You're not going to get rich quick. You're not going to earn while you learn. You got to do it the right way, and it takes time. The right way is small risk and incrementally work your way up. So you're going to start out with $5 to $10 per trade. As you get consistent, as you get better, you raise your risk up to $500 to $1,000 per trade, whatever it may be. So make sure you guys are starting small, not risking too much too soon, and just doing it the right way. So now that we got that taken care of, out of the way, let's look at the markets, guys. So we got a gap down in the SPY, 0.6%, a little bit more on the Qs, gapping down 0.9%. But at the moment, both of these are kind of looking like an inside day. The Qs, you can see we have quite a bit of support at the 406 area. If we get under this spot, I think we got a little bit of room to drop, maybe to 403, maybe 402, but there are some moving averages and stuff there, trend lines. So quite a bit of support on the SPY, so I'm not really liking a big bearish move. It is looking a little bit lower in the pre-market here, but yeah, that 406, 405.80 area is going to be the line in the sand. What we do with that is probably going to determine what the sentiment is for today, bearish, bullish, whatever. And then Qs, kind of the same sort of thing. Qs are looking a little bit more of an inside day, so a little bit more of room down to that low from Thursday. So if we get down here and break it, we got room to drop under this like 412.50 area. We should have a little bit of room here, but at the moment, I'm kind of just leaning towards an inside day. Kind of thing we just kind of test it, don't really get there, maybe grind a little bit higher, but yeah, kind of leaning towards an inside day at the moment. A little bit tougher to say the Q or the SPY is an inside day because it is already kind of a narrow range day. Last Thursday was, so staying inside of that bar might be a little bit tough, but I could see us just kind of peekaboo lower and then maybe just hang out here. So not really sold on direction today. Looking like kind of a choppy inside day. So we'll do with that as we can. We got some decent gapping ideas though, so we'll see if we can get some sort of trade out of these. First up on the list is PXD. So PXD is gapping up over these 4 red bars into a nice void. It's got room up to that like 229 area. It's where this 200 period moving average is. That's where the range starts to be a little bit of a concern. It does about $6 on average, and that's right about $6 right there. So a little bit of hard target right there, like the 229, 230 area. But I do like PXD. It does look good in the pre-market, so keep an eye on that one. Next up, we have EBS. Nice clean gap over this consolidation. Does have some resistance here at this moving average at 1150, but for all intents and purposes, this is a pretty solid idea. Average range is about 60, 70 cents. So up in this moving average is going to be probably the limit right in this pre-market high area. So keep an eye on it, but it might be a little bit tough to trade because it doesn't have a whole lot of range or void or anything. So next up, we have MU, Micron Technology, gapping up. This is a decent gap into it. It's just in a lot of junk, not a lot of junk, but it is into a little bit of junk here. So I'd probably like to see it over like this 61, maybe $62 area. A little bit of room up to that gap fill, like 62.50. So keep an eye on the MU. Markets are open right here, guys. They just opened, so we are off to see the Wizards. Make sure you guys, as always, practice that proper money management. Follow your trading plan, guys. It's the only way you're going to make money. So, all right, continue on with the list. Tesla. So Tesla's gapping down. If it looks weak today and it gets under this like pre-market like 179, I want to keep an eye on Tesla. Definitely has a nice void to run lower, so keep an eye on that one. Next up is GM. So this one was gapping down a little bit more when I had this on the in the pre-market. Now it's moved up a little bit here, so you can keep an eye on it still. I'd like it under low of the day probably, but yeah, it does have some nice void to run down to. A little bit of support in that $34 area. So next up we got Exxon Mobil, another one that was. I mean, whenever I first put it on my list, it was down in this like 113.80 area, so it looked really good. Now it's gapping up quite a bit, so uh, probably not going to be able to trade this one too well, but you can watch it under like 114. Next up, we have McDonald's. So this one, another one that was gapping up a little bit more in the pre-market. It's got to get over that 285 area. I was kind of hesitant to put this on my list. It's pretty extended up here, but it is like going to an all-time high. It has been a strong stock, so I figured it was worth the watch. Next up, we have Rivian. Rivian gapping. It was a short idea. Now it's kind of moving up a little bit as well. So if Rivian gets under that low of the day, really the pre-market low, kind of that 1420 area, you can watch it there. Next up, we have SQ. So SQ is another one gapping down. Needs to do a little bit of work though. I want to see it under this like was it $66 area. I'm not taking it over that, and under 66, it's going to need to give me a nice pattern. So keep an eye on that one. And then next up, AMD, another one where you're going to need to give it a little bit of time. It needs to get under this pre-market low at like 90.77. But if it does that, I like it. Keep an eye on it. So that is the list. Nothing spectacular, but we've had worse lists. So we're gonna make do with what we got. I feel like we'll get a few ideas at least out of this thing. So markets are looking lower here at the moment. Guys, give me just 1 second right here. All right, I'm back. It was hot. It was freezing cold this morning, and then like as soon as I started streaming, I'm like, damn it heated up, man. It's hot. All right, so we got MU and EBS both moving higher. Man, EBS is making a big push early, so that's going to be a little bit tough there. Not exactly what you want to see. MU looks pretty solid. What's the range here? High, low. Not a ton of range left, so we really don't want to see it do too much more. But MU at like 62.50, it's not going to stop, is it? If MU can get some sort of rest, like put in a breakout or this is too much for a buy setup. It's going to need to be a really nice breakout for basically. That's basically what I'm looking for in MU is a breakout. But we're going to need like another half hour of rest on that thing. So just really just ripping off the open right now. All right, PXD kind of chopping around right here. Not much to do with it. Tesla. What is up, Joel? Happy Monday. I know, right? Hope you guys had a good Easter. I had a pretty solid Easter. Had some nice family dinners and stuff. Coming back after a 3-day weekend. It's I almost said nice gap list, but this really isn't a nice gap list. It's kind of a mediocre gap list. So then again, I always like to kind of take it easy after a 3-day weekend. I don't like to rush into things. I found that whenever I come back after a decent sized break, I'm usually a little bit trigger happy. So I try to take it easy after a little break like this. So I'm not gonna be rushing anything today. You're looking at is this just gold? I assume. Yeah. So what exactly are you doing with this? Yes, still not exactly sure to say your name, but were you trying to short this, go long on it? Were you looking at a daily chart, a weekly chart, a 5-minute chart? What were you doing with gold right here? It's been strong recently, moving on up, but need a little bit more context, my man. Just that ticker with the question mark is a little bit vague. I'm not sure what you want to do with it. Trading is all about expectation, guys. What is your expectation? So giving a little more context, I can give you a little bit more about what the expectation may be. Man, these long ideas are not looking good right now, honestly. MU is just super extended, super strong, so going to be really tough to justify a trade on that. EBS, kind of same sort of thing. This thing does do some pretty big days, so I'm not going to cross it off the list. Definitely want to keep an eye on the EBS, but yeah, kind of like MU is going to be a little bit hard to justify a position there, but I'll keep an eye out for it. And then McDonald's last idea on the long list is just not a really good idea. Needs to do some work, so we'll be patient with the long ideas right now. Markets are moving lower, looking short. Hey, what's up, Farhad? How you doing? Going to be a good day. Man, look at Tesla, guys. Tesla's really weak, and it has a lot of range left. So I want to watch Tesla. GM's moving up. Exxon doesn't look too bad, but yeah, I don't really trust this thing. I don't really trust it until it's under like 114, basically. Under 114, I like it. Above that area, it's gonna be hard to trust. Rivian, as Rivian is looking a little bit lower. Keep an eye on that one. SQ doesn't look too bad. Watch SQ under the that low at 66. Hey, how's it going, Casey? How you doing today? You got any ideas? DRS. Oh yeah, you always got an idea, Casey. I love it. DRS long at 1420. Long over here 1420. Stop $1.50 at 1260. I don't know if that's about. I don't know if it's $1.56, but 1260. Not a bad area for the stop. Yeah, you're giving it this engulfing bar, giving it some room here, so it looks pretty solid on the hourly chart. That stop loss does, but you're trying to get up to 17. So 17 is just above this pivot resistance, so you might be working a little bit to get that up to that 1728 area. It might come up to like 1675 and kind of hang out. So it might get you like a half hour from target, but yeah, not too bad. You do have the support right here where it just broke out of. So if it does rest and come back, you should be good with that 1260. It's a little bit tight, but you should be all right. Got some moving averages up here, so it might give you a better chance to buy. It might come back, pull back that 1350 and rip. But yeah, not a bad one at all. Definitely in like a kind of like a stage 3, looking like it's trying to get back into that stage 2. So nice find. What is this again? Trotech. Do I have this on the list? I do. Okay. Yeah, not a bad idea. Back to my list though. Not much. Not much. Like I said, we can watch that EBS. You can watch it. I just don't love the range a whole lot. The range and where it's at on this with that 50 period moving average. Yeah, that 50 is a little bit in a tough spot. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm kind of feeling the shorts a little bit more. I mean, the way the SPY is moving down so far, if we break this low, what is this? 405.68 is the official low, so I'll change it. 405.68, that's the spot. We'll see if we can't get down there and break it. If we do, definitely going to be trying to get one of these short ideas to go. And look at GM, just a beast. So that doesn't look great. Like I said, we can watch Rivian. SQ is a little bit interesting here. I'm going to watch SQ as opposed to GM. Move these around on my favorites list real fast. There we go. All right. So yeah, we can keep an eye on this SQ. Under low of the day. Looks like it's kind of moving up at the moment, so not much there. EBS is moving on up as well. If if it rests right here and doesn't go a penny high, okay, and then it just did. So yeah, I mean, if it rests for a little while, doesn't break that 1180 area, I might consider getting into this EBS. Be about a 40-cent stop loss. So you're gonna need just over 12, like 1220. Yes, the range is a little bit of an issue, no doubt. But I mean, this is one of the strongest stocks out there right now. So I want to watch it. Oh man, man, these 3-day weekends are getting me. 3-day weekend will get you like that, man. I think that's why everybody likes the 3-day weekend so much, is because it like a 3-day weekend really feels like a reset, you know? Like you get 3 days off, it's like you can go on a quick vacation if you want to, you can do a lot of work around your house, like you can do a lot of stuff with a 3-day weekend that you can't do with a 2-day weekend. I think that's why people like it so much. They want that escape from their jobs. They're working that 9 to 5, putting in the work, and they just want an escape. And the 2-day weekend doesn't feel like an escape, but the 3-day weekend, man, the 3-day weekend day of not having to work really feels like a nice break. That's why the push for the 3-day weekend is so big right now. I think. I don't know about it. I don't know. I kind of think the 2-day weekend is I think it's the move. I think a 3-day weekend is good every now and then, but a 3-day weekend every weekend, I think it's really going to put a damper on productivity. Really going to set people back a little bit. I mean, especially for school, like for school kids and stuff. Like a 3-day weekend every week is like that first day back just has to be an absolute drag. Every Tuesday, those kids got to be coming in just like dragging their feet, not wanting to learn, forgetting everything they learned last week. Like, there's no way that Tuesday is as productive as the Monday was. Just no way. So I'll step off my soap. There's my soapbox for the day, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Preaching about 3-day weeks, 3-day weekends. All right, man. Might be doing some more preaching with this list, dude. There ain't nothing to trade right now. SPY, Qs, PXD, EBS. Guys, EBS is looking okay. I would really just like 3 more bars, pop, 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 and then a breakout. Then I'll be really liking it. MU's just no quitting it. Tesla's not looking too bad, actually. We can watch Tesla under that 176 area. Watch Tesla under 176. Look at this hourly chart. We've got this support right at 176. So, I mean, if we break that, should have room down to about 165. Should have room to drop under this 176 area. So keep an eye on the Tesla short. I do like that. Probably my top idea right now. SQ's moving up. Exxon's moving up. McDonald's needs a lot of work. Yes, I'm not seeing much. Tesla's my top watch, top idea short. Markets have bounced pretty good actually. SPY's back up to high of the day. Q's not so much, but Tesla's still looking like it has a little bit of relative weakness, so we're gonna watch that. The PXDs, I mean, it has a little bit of range left, but you're coming up on that 120 or 229 area where that moving average is at, and really not a clean chart right at the moment. So I mean, it's still on the table, but you're gonna need to do some work, no doubt. And news keeps moving up. Guys, this EBS is not a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. So 1178. by 11:37. So if you have 41 cent stop, so you need 12.19 as your target. So you are going to need an extra 40 cents. So you're going to need a dollar plus day. I mean, this thing does do some pretty wide range days. It's not doing spectacular volume. I'd really like to see some more volume out of this, but it's not doing a terrible job either. So it is showing a little more volume than normal, but not a ton. The range ratio is pretty good though. It does 0.06, so that's really nice. Does some wide range days for sure. So guys, I'm watching EBS over high of the day. I'm watching Tesla under low of the day. Those are my two watches right now. My two top watches. The Qs are moving lower at the moment. The Qs are breaking down. Still got a little bit of ways to go before we're at that low from Thursday. Got about another dollar or so there, 75 cents. So we'll see if the Qs are able to hold that low. The SPY held that low pretty well. The SPY kind of bounced right at 406 and showing that support for sure. So a little bit more bullish on the SPY than the Qs. So tech stocks maybe a little bit weaker, which would be good for Tesla. This test is a little bit interesting. It'd be like 176 basically by 178. About a $2 stop. Plenty of range on the Tesla as well. Yeah, just keep an eye on it. It's been a pretty choppy SPY this morning. Qs have been pretty weak, but SPY's been choppy. No clear direction. Looking like it wants to maybe break out over a high of the day. So we'll see about that. But yeah, at the moment, just really watching Tesla. Needed to come down and retest this pivot at 176 one more time. But, so need a little bit of work there. MU is, I can't take that, guys. Even if it put in like a textbook breakout pattern up here, it's up over its range by like 30 to 40% into all this resistance up here, like 64 bucks or something. So there's just too much junk up there for me to be comfortable trading that. Like I said, man, I'm an odds-based trader. I trade based on statistics and I try to bend the odds in my favor, and I just don't think this is an high odds trade right here. I don't think the odds are in my favor with that one. All right, I do like this EBS still. Still got my eye on EBS. Like I said, it'd be about a 41 cent stop loss. 41 cent stop. You could raise your stop to this 1145 area pretty quickly. So keep an eye on that EBS. Tesla's moving up now. So honestly, not really worried about that. SQ, man, none of this list has been kind of a very, very, very mediocre list, guys. I don't see anything that's even like remotely quality other than EBS. PXD is just looking sloppy. This EBS is interesting. I cannot lie at all. This is an interesting trade right here. 1178 by 1137. I think we have some wholesale inventories at 9 o'clock. Yeah, but that usually doesn't shake up the market too much. So we should be good there. My one concern is the range here. It is as average day is 68 cents. It's already done 81. I'm going to need it to go to like 120. So, I mean, this thing does do some big days. And like I said, the average range ratio is about 0.06. So It does have some bigger moves in it. Like I would like to see some more volume come in here, but not too bad. I'm gonna get an order ready on this. The 1178 by 1137. Go 41 cent stop. Target's gonna be 12.19. All right. Well, we're gonna have to get a limit order, guys. We're gonna have to limit order that thing. There we go. We got in the EBS, the limit. EBS 12.78 by 11.37. Bam. EBS order is in there. So, yeah, target's 12.19. Actually, I'm going to raise my stop just a little bit right off the bat. Just give myself a little bit of protection right here. I'm not trying to take full losses. As a scalper, you know, that is one thing you can't do is take full losses. So, protect just a little bit up there. You know, that was a nice flag on the 1 minute, guys. Look at that. Nice little wedge pattern. Could argue to get in early, like 11.62. But for better or worse, we are in there at the high of the day on EBS. Markets are looking a little bit lower right here at the moment. SPY and Qs kind of moving down, but Qs, I feel like Qs are in an area where they can definitely bounce. That's why I was kind of waiting for a bounce on the Qs. Tesla's looking a little bit lower right here as well, so might have been a little bit rushed on that EBS, full disclosure. Maybe a little bit rushed there, but like I said, for better or worse, we're in there. I do really like that relative strength it's been showing, so that's solid. So I'm going to be watching for a position on Tesla as well. About a 275 on the stop. So plenty of range on Tesla, plenty of void. Under that 160 or 76, like I've been saying, has a lot of room to go lower, so keep an eye on that. It's really the only thing I'm watching right now is the Tesla short. Yeah, none of these other ideas are looking very good. Rivian, AMD, GM. All right, yeah. So really just watching Tesla short. I guess you can watch SQ short, but it's going to have to get under that $66 area, like I've been saying. So if it comes down there and puts in a pattern, you can definitely watch it. It has a really tight range right now, actually, only 78 cents. Average day is like $3, so keep an eye on that. So yeah, Tesla and SQ are the top watches at the moment. We're watching Meta and Facebook. If it gets below this area, like 208, 208.50, you can watch it, but at the moment, I'm probably not going to be taking that just because it is that's like a textbook inside day. Like, it's going to be a little bit tough to take that. But I don't know if you're swing trading it. I don't know. You might be swing trading it. Swing trade. I don't know. I mean, this has a really nice trend line right now. It's trending higher pretty well. So you see, it just keeps grinding on up. Probably put it all the way. That's a little bit off. You put it right there and just grinding on up. So I mean, if Facebook breaks this trend line and gets going down, then you can watch it. But no worries, my man. Thank you. I don't even know if I did anything for you, my man. But thank you, Bullwins. EBS still kind of hanging around up here. So I probably could have waited. Not probably. I definitely could have not rushed into this and had an order ready for it right up here at 11.79. That would not have been a bad idea at all. So I did rush into this thing a little bit. When it shot up on this big green bar, I was panic mode. Thought I might miss it, so I rushed into it. So not a great entry right there, but the pattern still holds multi time frame analysis still holds. Man, I can't talk. The relative strength still holds. So everything is still there. I did rush into this a little bit too quickly. It was the only bad part about EBS, but otherwise looks pretty good. Tesla just hanging out, man. I think it's going to hold that support pretty well. I mean, you look at where Tesla's been down. It's been down quite a few days in a row at support. I don't think we're just going to bust through that. It's going to fight it a little bit. So we'll see. Markets are kind of looking higher here. Holding that support. Qs are down out the low from yesterday in that area. SPYs are kind of putting in a higher low right here, so might be moving on up in the markets. We do have the gap fill as well on the SPY, so there's another bullish aspect to it. Maybe we get over this 407 area. I think we do go higher. I don't have any good long ideas at all. At all. PXD is probably the best one. It doesn't look good, really, for anything. MU is just chopping around up here, likely done. EBS is looking all right still. So EBS is trying to break out right over here, right at the high of the day. So I'm going to raise my stop just a little bit more, go to 1145. Just under that pivot right there. All right. So was this a 41 cent stop? And now I'm at so just like 35 or something, 33. So I think I'm at like 0.75 already. Now it's a 33 cent stop, so just over a 0.75 R risk, probably around the 0.8 area. So 0.8 R risk on the EBS right now. The market's just kind of putting a big red bar. That bottoming tail just gave up. It was putting in a pretty nice bottoming tail. Looked like it might want to go higher. Now it's just rolled over, big red bar. So we'll see if it can hold. If it gets under that 406 and breaks down, man, we could be in for it. Watch the Tesla short. Watch the Tesla short. 176.11. Yeah, like about a 275 on the stop loss. Oh, so about a $3 stop. So you're gonna need about 173, a little more. Yeah, watch it. It needs to come. It needs to retest this 176 though, at least one more time. It's got to do that. PXD is looking very mediocre. EBS moving on up still, so we'll see if it can get to at least $12. I'll be happy because I can raise my stop up quite a bit if it does that. Shouldn't be too much of a loser if it does end up rolling over. So yeah, kind of looking lower now at the moment on the Qs. There for a second, I thought we might be putting in a higher low, but just really rolled over with that red bar, and we'll see how the 406 area holds. This is the spot right now, under 406. We could get it moving. We do technically have the support all the way down to 405.60 or 405.70. So if we break 406, it's not all in on the short side. There is a little bit more, but it definitely will be a bearish move. I hope that my luck is good as well. Good luck to you in your endeavors. You got any open trades right now? Can I wish you any luck on any open trades? For anybody? You got anything on the watch list? Got anything open? Got anything that maybe you just want to look at? What are the cryptos up to today? Anything special? Just hanging out still. Just hanging out, man. 28,000. What do you guys think happens first? We hit 30,000 or we hit 26,000? What do you think? 30 or 26? You had to, there's a gun to your head. You got to make a decision. Are we going to go hit 30,000 or hit 26,000? Honestly, I scratch my chin, man. I don't know. I mean, it is kind of moving up higher, but Farhad thinks we go 26. I wouldn't be surprised. Kind of extended up here. A lot of resistance. A lot of resistance up to that 26, 28,000 area. So, I don't know. We'll see. The other cryptos looking the same. Well, Ethereum looks a little bit higher. Ethereum is actually putting in like a trend, some higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So that one looks a little bit higher. This Algorand is pretty mediocre. Isn't Ripple? Weren't you guys talking about Ripple quite a little bit ago? It's about to get free ups from the SEC or something like that. I don't know. All right, guys. Hey, PXD is actually not looking too bad. PXD, guys, we can watch this. I don't love the range at all, or the daily, really. You need about a $2 stop. I guess you do have $2 before you get to that moving average. So, guys, we can watch the PXD. You're watching EOG, Farhad. How you doing, Cherry Arparacha? Hello. Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you throw them up in the chat log. Yeah, you can watch EOG over high of the day, potentially. Not a ton of volume, but definitely trade. I mean, if it gets over that high of the day, it's into a big void. It's been pretty strong this morning, so has range left. So yeah, not a bad idea on the EOG. You need help? What do you need help with? Let us know. Let me know. If you don't want to type in the chat log, you can send me an email. My email is down there below the stream information. So you're watching NTR. Guys, I want to watch this SQ. I'll check that NTR in just 1 second, my man, but I want to keep my eye on SQ. This is probably my top watch right here. Low of the day by high of the day. Be about an 81-cent stop. 81-cent stop on SQ. Breaking down under that $66 mark. So keep an eye on it, guys. That's my top watch right now, SQ. Markets are moving on up. They just put in a big green bar. Q's kind of staying the low of the day. Yeah, watch SQ. It's gonna need. I want to complete that bar at least. So let me check out this NTR for you real fast. NTR going higher today. I mean, it's already had a really big move. You see, average trading range is 230. Today it's done 355. Coming up into a lot of junk up here to the left. It's not into a clear void. So I don't know how much more this thing has to go. I think it might be at the peak right here. You got some moving averages. You got the 50, the 9, the 200. Like there's a moving average on just about every time frame. Why is this not VWAP? What am I doing? So I mean, maybe it goes a little bit higher, but I think the big move of this is pretty much done on NTR. The majority of that move has been already done. It's got resistance, so yeah, not into a clear void. So yeah, I think NTR is probably just about done. Tell me the gold present situation. Honestly, I don't know the gold present situation. I'm more of a technical stock trader, so I look at charts, technical charts, and I can look at a gold chart if you want me to. But for the fundamentals of gold and all how the gold situation works and stuff, I'm not exactly sure. And frankly, I don't think you need that in order to trade. I mean, if you're looking at this, and you could have gotten a breakout right here, right on the third, come up, consolidates, could have got this breakout. Now it's pulling back a little bit, so actually that's not the right gold. As what's it called? SQ. I want to keep an eye on SQ. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you want with the gold situation. You can give me a little more context. Like, are you already trading it? Are you looking to trade it? I do know what I want with SQ, guys. I'm getting in this SQ 65.99 by 66.80 short. So it's an 81-cent stop. So we're gonna need 65.18. All right, guys. Markets. All right. Ah, shit. That was a limit order, wasn't it? Son of a gun. All right, we are in there on the SQ. Got in with the limit order. Don't love that. Damn it, why did I do that? It was supposed to be a stop limit. It looks like it would have been triggering us in there anyways, so for better or worse, we are in the SQ. We are in the SQ. Yeah, I really tried to use, I should have used a stop limit on that, but I just kind of wasn't paying attention. I used a stop limit or a limit order instead. So we are already in the SQ. So yeah, there it is. We'll see what happens, guys. Markets are moving up a little bit. SQ is staying weak. EBS is kind of hanging out at high of the day. So not looking too bad there. In fact, I'm going to raise my stop up just a little bit more on the EBS. I go to 11.49, right under that VWAP. Give me a little bit more protection. Here we go. I just need this thing to break out over 11.80. Raise my stop up to like an 11.60 area. Be like a half hour risk. Shouldn't be too much of a problem then. So got the SQ. We're in there. All right. So yeah, now we're officially in SQ. Honestly, I probably would have got some pretty nasty slippage had I used the stop limit order. So I guess it helped us out in this scenario, in this one case. But it's putting a pretty big bottoming tail now. It's pulling back. So we'll see about the SQ. Like I said, we're in there for better or worse. I mean, the pattern's there, the trade's there, the range, the volume, the relative strength, it's all meeting criteria. So it's all there. It might be a little bit thin on volume. Actually, never mind. No, it's not. It's good. I was thinking, yeah, no, we're good on the volume. Good on volume. The hourly chart, really nice. Daily chart, really nice. This 5-minute chart's probably the worst chart we're looking at here. The 5-minute chart only tested that breakout twice, so yeah, 5-minute chart's the worst. But I think for all intents and purposes, it does look pretty solid. Thanks for the follow, Bull wins. Oh, I already was following you. My bad. There we go. EBS still looks higher, guys. I still do like this EBS. I think we're in a good position here. It's holding really strong with the market, so all we need is a little bit of a breakout over high of the day, and we should be in smooth sailing there. I'm still watching this Tesla as well. I'm still watching the Tesla. That is really the only thing on my radar at the moment. PXD, kind of watching it over high of the day, but not really loving what it's doing right now. It would be, let's see. So that'd be about a $2 stop, a little bit less than $2. So I mean, you do have room up to that moving average, but it's tight. It's pretty tight. All right. MU's just hanging out. It's like I said, it's at that range. It's already put in a big move at an area of resistance. Like that NTR had a really big move up at an area of resistance. I mean, this one's forming a breakout, but like I was saying, there's a lot of stuff holding it back at this point. What is this even? Nutrient? Don't know if I've heard of that. Guys, I want to keep an eye on the Tesla. I want to keep an eye on this Tesla. This one, like I said, I've been saying it's going to be a 275 if I do take it. It's going to be 176 by like 178, 75 or whatever. All right, so SQ's getting it going a little bit more here. In fact, I'm going to move my stop down on SQ some. Be about as. Do I even want to do that actually? Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna move it down just a little bit. Not much, but just enough to give me not a full loss. So 66.70. 66.7, just right there. All right, there we have it. Just a little bit of protection, you know. Like I said, I'm a scalper, doing scalp management, so you can't be taking full losses. Limit that just a little bit right there. So Qs are looking, or SQs looking pretty weak. Markets are continuing to kind of bounce right up here. EBS is pulling in a little bit. So really nothing too bad there, honestly. It's kind of a healthy pullback. Oh man. Good morning. So I'm got my eyes on PXD, considering this one long over high today, and Tesla short. Those are the only two ideas that I'm watching right now. MU is done. Exxon is done. McDonald's, nothing. Rivian, nothing. AMD, nothing. GM, nothing. So yeah, Tesla, PXD. I'm gonna check some of these backup ideas, I suppose. Actually, I don't have any backups there. Let's check some of these. So, not missing anything on the backup ideas. All right. So there we have it, guys. There we have it. One trade on SQ, off to a decent start. We need 65.18 as target on that. So not a bad start, but we need quite a bit more out of it. And then the other stock we are in is EBS. So off to another, really not super great of a start, but it's past 20 minutes. It's been doing a pretty decent job holding up. So we'll see if the market's bouncing right here a little bit, moving up high of the day on the SPY. Qs are trying to get it going off the bottom here. So we'll see if that helps EBS, see how much it hinders SQ. So I'm on both sides of the market. I got one long, one short. The likelihood that both of these stop out, or it's not super high, definitely reduces the likelihood of a double stop out whenever you have one on both sides of the market. I mean, like if the market absolutely rips, it should be good for EBS. If it absolutely tanks, it should be good for SQ. So both sides we should be protected. But yeah, otherwise, other than the PXD, which honestly PXD is, I'm not trading. I'm taking this. It's getting to the point where I don't want to trade this either. Like it's getting pretty sloppy. It's moving down a little bit lower than what you want to see. So my only watch right now at the moment is going to be a Tesla. I'm going to be watching Tesla. Like I said though, I'm not getting in right. Like if it breaks down, puts in a red bar, I'm not getting in right here. I needed to rest and test 176 at least one more time. At least one more time before I'm into that thing. So I'll be on here for another 15 to 20 minutes or so. So it might just be a boring 20 minutes, guys. You might just be kind of sitting here looking at charts, shooting the shit, managing out this trade, EBS. I mean, if it gets over high today and pops up to like $12, probably gonna be moving my stop up under this like 1164, 1165 area. So it's gonna be the next area I try to move my stop up on EBS. SQ, I just want this thing to move lower, man. I just need this thing to move a little bit lower. I don't want to lower my stop on this too much because I can see it coming back, retesting the VWAP, and then rolling over. I'm not trying to get too aggressive on raising the stop with the SQ. So markets are moving up a little bit higher, moving up a little higher. Hey, thanks for the follow, LeBron. Oh, not LeBron. Lebo Juan. What is this? Lebo Juan. It's like LeBron James. LeJean Brames. Oh, oh man. What should we talk about? Is there any good politics to dig into right now? Never. No. What else? I ain't got much for you guys. Trying to get EBS over high today. If you guys want to do me a favor, you can all go ahead and buy some EBS and sprout this thing up to $12 so I can move my stop up. Or you could sell some SQ as well. If you wanted to do that, whatever floats your boat, guys. Just buy EBS or sell SQ. Whatever floats your boat. Oh man. How many people in here are day traders? Are there a lot of you that are over the pattern day trading rule that are able to trade just in and out like that? I feel like most of you guys are swing traders, honestly. I feel like swing trading is generally the easiest to get into. Especially when you're new and you're starting out, you don't have a fully funded account. It might be a little bit easier to start swing trading. Get around that PDT rule. But I do a little bit of swing trading actually. I'm about to do some swing trading as soon as I get off of here with you guys. Put together my swing trade list for the week. Search for any trades I want to jump into. Manage the trades I got. And this market's looking a little bit higher right now. We might just end up filling this gap and up to 408.50, 409. We'll see. EBS is looking like it's going to lead the charge. There we go, baby. There we go. So I'm going to raise my stop up just a bit more. We're going to go 11.55 right with VWAP here. There we go. Raising the stop up a little bit more on the EBS. So it's instead of a 41-cent stop loss, we have a 23-cent stop loss. So just over half our risk on EBS. So you're interested in buying early near open and selling after a good run at about 10 a.m. How would you look for stocks that set up? Pre-market gappers? So yeah, pre-market gappers is a really good way to do day trading. That's personally what I look for. So I mean, you can see every one of these stocks on my list. They gap up in the pre-market. They're clearing resistance. They have good volume. You see MU, another one that gapped up, cleared resistance, had some volume. So yeah, scanning for stocks that gap up each morning is a good way to find stocks that run in day for day trading purposes. So you can see this is the scanner I actually use. This is my screener right here. Go ahead, not that, need that. So this is what I look for: common stock, average volume over 300,000, current trading day, pre-market volume over 50,000. Want to be on one of the bigger exchanges. Don't want to trade penny stocks or anything like that, so I make sure the price is over $5. And then the pre-market change. This is my short gap list, so I want the pre-market change to be greater than negative 1%. And if it's a long, I go greater than 1%. So I'm looking for gaps that are gapping more than 1% or less than negative 1%. So that's my short, and this is my short list. Long list is literally just reversed right there. So this is what I use to screen every single morning. That's how I build my list right here. So yeah. I mean, yeah, once you have a trading plan, once you know, you have an idea of what you want to do and how you want to do it, then it just becomes a matter of putting together a plan. So like, how are you going to go about scanning for those trades? How are you going to manage those trades? All that thing. So you put together that plan, then you implement that plan. You put it into action. You test it. You try to follow it as closely as you can. You measure your results. You assess those results. So like you see how you did, you back test everything, you figure out where improvements can be made, maybe you make minor tweaks to your plan. So you improve it, and then you just repeat that process. You implement the plan again after it's been tweaked and improved, and then you just keep doing that. Yeah. Take a screenshot of that, use it, implement it in your own plan, like I said, and just keep improving that process, guys. It's called the planning cycle of success. You can see it right here. I'll pull it up for you. Where's that? It's in the mentality section of my trading plan. Planning cycle of success. See it right there? Highlighted. Plan, implement, measure, assess, improve, repeat. This is how you are going to be a successful trader, right here. Your first plan, your first time you plan, it's going to be terrible. I'm going to be frank with you guys. It's going to be awful. You're going to have so many gaps in your plan. It's going to be all over the place. And then you're gonna realize that whenever you try to implement it, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this is not very good. And you're gonna fill in those gaps. You're just gonna keep doing that process until you finally have a plan that you actually feel comfortable with, and then that is actually like something that you can implement and trade with. And then you start tweaking that plan. You start making those minor improvements. You start making sure you're back testing so you have results that you can trust. Make sure that you know what your stats are. Don't just have a feeling of like, well, I feel like these stocks always rip in the morning. Like I feel like every time I see a stock that gaps up, it goes high. Don't feel it. You need to know it. You need to have the stats and the back testing to prove it. Every time you see a gap up and you have that feeling, write it down. Write down why you feel that way, what it is, what is you're seeing on the chart, what you're seeing maybe news wise, whatever. But to make sure you're not trading on feeling, make sure you guys know what you're doing. You don't want to just change your whole plan up on a whim just because you're like, well, I saw this one guy do it and it worked really well for him. It's like, it's not going to work like that, man. Trading is more of a personality than it is anything else. Anything else, it's emotional. I could give you guys the best trading plan with the most complete trading checklist in the world. I could get Mark Mini. I could have him on here and tell him how to teach you guys a trade. It wouldn't be the same, guys, because it's all about personality. It's all about managing your emotions. The trading part is actually relatively simple. It's generally pretty easy to understand a strategy and understand what people are looking at. The hard part is understanding your emotions and trusting yourself when you see something that you know is good. That's the challenging part of trading, and that's why you're going to need to practice that planning cycle of success over and over and over and over. You're going to do it hundreds of times before you have a trading plan that is actually worth something, that is actually profitable. I say it all the time. This is not an easy business. People like to come in here and think they can get rich quick and turn $500 into $1,000 by the end of the month. It doesn't work like that, guys. It does not work like that. You've got to put in the work. You've got to put in the time. You got to do it consistently. I mean, even if you are able to take that $500 and you make $10,000 with it, it's like, can you repeat that though? Because it doesn't mean anything if it's a fluke, if it's a one-time thing, it's just a lottery trade. It doesn't mean anything. It's not repeatable. So you got to make sure what you're doing is consistency. What you're doing is repeatable. It's scalable. Whenever you start out, you're going to be risking very small amounts. So whenever you get to that full risk where you're risking $1,000 per trade as opposed to $10 per trade, is that strategy still going to be viable? Is the buying power going to be an issue? Is the spread going to be an issue? Is the liquidity going to be an issue? These are all things you got to make sure you're taking care of whenever you're planning making your trading plan. So hope you guys got something out of my 2 cents. Man, look at EBS rolling over right here. Come on, baby. Keep it moving. I need to see a little bit of a green bar, and I might move my stop up to this like 1166 area. I'm going to leave it where it's at right now. I'd really like to see a little more out of this EBS. This is kind of what I was worried about whenever I got into this. It already had a big move up. It had already exceeded its trading range, so it's always a concern when you're trading something like that. And it had the whole number to deal with, the $12. So there was a few reasons why Maybe I should have been a little bit less aggressive with this, but nonetheless, still a strong stock, still a decent pattern. Markets are still looking a little bit higher, trying to at least. SQ's been doing a pretty good job though. I really, really like what SQ's doing uh, in comparison to the market. And since 10 o'clock, the market's kind of moved up and went sideways. The Qs have been pretty strong, straight green bars since 10 o'clock. And this SQ is just kind of hanging out, moving down, moving lower, grinding down. So I think we break this low of the day on SQ. We could have another nice leg lower. So feeling good about that one. Not feeling as good about EBS. EBS might end up tagging me, but we'll see. It's not over just yet. Looking like it's getting real close though. Real close. But like I said, we are on both sides of the market, one long, one short. So if the market rolls or pops, whichever way it goes, we should be protected, at least for making a half hour today. So should be good there. Looking like EBS is going to get us here soon. So SQ moving on down a little bit more. I'm even going to lower my stop here on this one now. Got like an 80-cent stop loss, so I'm gonna lower my stop on the SQ to like a half hour risk. A little bit more, just over this pivot right here. Hold on. I'm gonna go like 66.45. I'm gonna give it a little bit of room, but I'm still gonna be lowering that quite a bit. So it's just over a half hour risk on SQ now. Just over a half hour risk on SQ, just over a half hour risk on EBS. So worst case scenario, we lose like an R day. So really not in a bad situation. It's a good spot to be right here. Farhad, you're watching NVIDIA. Let's take a look. NVIDIA's been really strong today, it looks like. NVIDIA's been strong. Over high of the day. I mean, you can trade it. It has the gap fill up to like 273, but it might just be a little bit aggressive, you know? It's not a clear void. Markets are looking a little bit weaker at the moment, so you're kind of trading against the trend. It's kind of up here in this like starting to be a stage 3. You can see we're in this nice stage 2, and now we're getting to this little bit of choppiness. The higher highs aren't as much as they were, so you might get a little bit of choppy action up here on NVIDIA. So I'd be careful there. But I mean, it is a strong stock today. There's no denying that. Probably the strongest fat man stock out, right? Yeah, Facebook weak, Microsoft weak, Amazon pretty weak. Yeah, so NVIDIA is the strongest stock we got, no doubt about it. Man, Tesla still is interesting, guys. Tesla under that low of the day. I'm hesitant to say that because I wanted to retest the low of the day. I don't like that one pivot at 176. I need multiple pivots. So until it does that, I'm holding off. Guys, Apple under low of the day. It's like right here. 160.08. Be like a 65-cent stop loss. Guys, this Apple looks pretty good actually. Markets are looking lower. This is looking weaker than the markets. Guys, I like this Apple. It's got a nice void to run lower. It's got range. Might give it a little bit more on the stop loss. Give it like 85 cents, maybe 80 cents right at that VWAP. So you're going to need 160. It's right at that whole number though. That's not exactly what I want to see. Guys, Apple does not look bad right here. I want to keep an eye on this. Oh my goodness, this is annoying. Alright guys, Apple. I mean, it is looking a little weaker than the market, though, that's for sure. Guys, EBS put in a nice little bottoming tail. I'm actually probably going to be putting my stop right under that. Give it a couple more pennies. I'm going to raise this up to 11.59. 11.59, stop raised on EBS. SQ. Ooh, SQ's moving up quite a bit. So that's a big green bar. Not what you want to see. But Apple. Here's the Apple, guys. That looks short. But the market's kind of look higher. You're looking at MG Magna. TSX. Going higher. Are these like three separate ones? We're going to MG first. Super thin volume. Not even going to be on my radar because this volume is way too thin. I mean, we're an hour into the day and it's done 25,000 shares, so you're just not going to be able to get any sort of fill on that at all. So NG, not a fan. Magna, this is stock. Not exactly sure. Maybe it's MGA. Maybe this is the one you're looking at. So MGA, this is doing enough volume, but not a ton to do with it here. It's kind of just ripped higher, continue moving up. So no clear patterns, not really no void or anything. It's had a pretty decent sized day. It's exceeded its range, so it's probably towards the end of its move. I'll just kind of hang out in this $52 to $53 area. And then last one, we got TSX. It's just, what is this? Not exactly sure what the TSX is, but I think it's going higher. So it has the range to go higher, that's for sure. It has the range. Not a ton of void. See, it's been some junk up here, like 20,000. This area right up here. So volume is really good on this. I don't know exactly what instrument this is. S&P and the TSX composite. I'll show you it. Okay, it's all Magna on the TSX, symbol MG. Oh, you're trading. Oh, okay. You're trading TSX. Gotcha. So the TSX, that's like the Canadian stock thing. Okay, my bad. Yeah. Yeah, so this one's just a little bit thin. That's the problem here. I mean, for whatever reason, mine is delayed as well. Oh, because I don't buy Toronto Stock Exchange data, so mine's gonna be a little bit delayed right here. But yeah, my first and foremost problem with this is that it's pretty thin. It's only doing 125,000 shares. Probably got a pretty wide spread, I imagine. Yeah, up here, it's extended a little bit into this resistance up here, so probably going to be hanging around, chopping around a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if maybe there's more volume on another exchange, but the volume is going to be the main concern with that one. All right, guys, so EBS, nice little green bar moving up. Let's see if we can't break out over high of the day. Man, if we do break out over high of the day, I might just move my stop to break even. I might just go to break even if we break out on EBS. Oh man, SQ's looking a little bit rough, looking a little bit higher right here. Still a little bit tempted on Apple, guys. I'm still a little bit tempted on Apple. Like 65-cent stop. I'd probably give it 75. Probably give it 75, just a little bit more. So you're gonna need, what was that, 160.33? Definitely, or 159.33. Yeah, that's in the wheelhouse, man. Getting tempted on that. Man, look at SQ popping. Son of a gun. This thing looks like it's about to tag me here soon. Any second now, we're going to be out of SQ. Alright. Any second now, we're going to be out of SQ. Unless it does something miraculous. But not getting the sense that it's going to do that. Alright. Apple. Like I said, I'm still watching Apple. I still like the Apple. Pull it up right here. Okay, it's SQ. There's nothing I can do with SQ. It's either going to stop out or it's going to work. Like, and then good chance it's going to stop out at this point. But yeah, like I said, I don't think that was a bad trade. I really don't. I really kind of like that trade actually. A little bit disappointed it didn't get going like I think it should have. Apple's moving up. These markets are kind of moving higher though, so that's one other thing I didn't expect to continue to happen. But they got the gap fill. They're trying to fill it. Which is one of the reasons why I'm very hesitant to take Apple. But then again, Apple's showing really, really good relative weakness. I mean, SPY's at high of the day. Qs are trying to move up towards high of the day, and Apple's just low of the day, sitting down here. So you're watching Ally, Casey. Long 2650. So getting in long right up here. I'm trying to find the bottom a little bit. I guess they put in a higher high, but then they put in a lower low. So you might be trying to find the bottom, but it does have some voids. So 2650 stop loss of 2550. So a little bit of a tight stop. Target at 28. The target's in a good spot. Probably looks a little better on the hourly chart. Oops. Getting in right over this 2650 area. Stop loss down here. Yeah, the stop loss is a bit tight. I might give it 25. Give it a little more room, a little bit more protection. Yeah, targets up in this $28 area. So yeah, not a bad idea. Definitely been consolidating for a while. Looks like it's trying to make a move higher, but yeah, I might be raising my stop up with that pretty quickly. 25.50s. I guess 25.50 is a pretty tight stop already, so not bad. Not a bad idea. What is this? Is it like a bank or something? Yeah. Yes, this is part of the banking sector, so I know you like to swing trades. He does have some earnings coming up, so that always throws a loop in things every now and then. So I'll just be mindful of that, but yeah, not a bad idea. Definitely has a nice void to trade into. It's probably the best part about it. Over 26 up to like 29, 28 maybe. Has a pretty nice void, so solid there. All right, guys. So I'm probably gonna be calling it a day here in a few minutes. I don't know. I'm probably just not gonna end up taking Apple. It's not gonna trigger soon enough for me to be able to get in and follow my plan. So I'm just not gonna take it. EBS is looking all right, looking decent. SQ looking like it's gonna stop us out any second now. So far, it's held like a hair and a biscuit, man. Stop loss at 66.45. It went to 66.43. I'm not confident that it's going to hold. So looks like we might get a stop loss on the SQ, which would be like, what is this? It was a 80-cent stop, so just over half R. I'd say like a 0.55 R loss. And then EBS, we'll see what happens here. So we'll see what happens with EBS, see if we can't get this thing moving. But right now, I think my risk is at like the same thing. It's 41, so yeah, I'm at like a half R risk on both of these. So worst case scenario, if somehow they both end up stopping out, I'll lose 1 R. If they both work, I'll make 2R. Anything else is on the table. So that is my day. Unless you guys have any last minute questions, comments, concerns, I'm gonna hop off of here. Got got to do some back testing, some journaling, some trade work. So get that underway. And as always, I'll be back on the stream tomorrow morning, 9:25 Eastern time. So make sure you stop on in, check it out, get your questions answered, your stocks reviewed, whatever it may be. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. With that, I'm gonna call it a day. So thanks, you guys. Have a good one. Oh, Joel sneaking in there with a how does Tesla look? All right, 1 second, my man. Uh, Tesla looks annoying. Like, I'm sorry, but this thing under 176, I like it. I do. I do like Tesla under 176. Got a solid stop loss up there, but I don't know if it's going to get there today. I wouldn't take it long, probably, just because, I mean, it's been pretty weak. Been weak all morning. You might be able to take it, argue it, getting in long over here with a stop at low of the day, but it's kind of going to depend on what you think the market's going to do. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of tough. I would prefer to take it under low of the day if it puts in a better breakout. But right now, at the moment, I'm probably not touching it. I can see you making an argument long, but the long argument is very aggressive, and it's going to need market help. So there's Tesla. Do with that as you will. But, all right, guys, have a great day. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Take care.